Hello, I'm Eve Pollard. I'm the Vice Chairman of Wellbeing of Women. I have been so since I was 6, it feels. And today I'm really lucky because I've got Emma Deterding, who's a brilliant home decor, brilliant designer. And she's making her first visit to the fair. And it took COVID to get her, and aren't we lucky? Hello, Emma.
Morning, Eve. How are you?
I'm fine. It's lovely to see you. Now, Emma she just sent me a couple of her sort of wonderful catalogs, I suppose, and I was immediately inspired to go out and buy all sorts of things. So, Emma, let's just talk about this year, Christmas, and what people can do, because I think we're all rather bored with our houses because we've spent so much time in them.
Yes, I think we are slightly bored with our houses, but we found that lots of clients have come to us and they've bought lots of new things like new headboards, and they bought lampshades, and they bought lamps, and they're sort of setting up their houses slightly different because they know that they're probably working from home for the long term.
Sure.
So they've converted the dining room into an office. They've made separate spaces where the kids can work, where they can work. So yeah, I think people are slightly bored, but they're doing
But
things
but
to make it better.
but you're going to be the magic fairy who's going to tell us also how we can make our houses look better between now and Christmas. And let's hope we all get a proper Christmas. But touching wood, which I vaguely am, for example, you've got wonderful lampshades. I think I'll show everybody wonderful lamps and lampshades, which are beautiful. And Emma, perhaps you can tell us in a minute where one can get hold of catalogs like this that they do inspire you. I mean, I saw these lamps. I'm probably going to order 2 because lighting is everything, isn't it?
Yeah, lighting's everything, especially as we're going into winter and it's getting colder and you want nice warm lights. And we we especially deal in color, as everyone can see from you holding up the pictures.
Yeah.
We love a blast of color, and I think the shades and the lamps work really well together, and they make it much more fun and exciting. I'm rather bored of beige lamps and beige shades or cream shades. There's
I
something
think
that,
we're all with you there.
yeah.
Yes, I mean,
And
and lighting is going to be very important, as you say. It'll be dark, and it
yeah,
makes the whole room look different, doesn't it?
yeah, exactly. It does. And if you mix it up with some fabulous cushions and you chuck
Yes.
a throw on the grotty sofa, you completely change your room. And you can get really now, you can either buy rugs from us, but you can buy inexpensive rugs from anywhere. Those help. Tidying up the clutter, that's a really,
Yes,
really good way of actually
yes,
making the house look better.
absolutely.
Just a little bit of sorting, it's sort of, it all helps.
And you've got lots of clients who you've done beautiful homes for. So when they ring you up and you say, I probably can't get to London, I probably can't get to your showrooms, what can I do? What can you send me? What tips can you give me to make the day, I guess we'll only be allowed a day by the politicians, special? I mean, for example, we were talking about the table earlier this morning.
Yeah, I mean, what the power of Zoom. Who knew that you and I would be talking on Zoom 6 months after the beginning of COVID? So we now, for clients, can do quite a lot on Zoom. We can do a walk through the house, see what they need. Everyone's now on mail order. We send stuff, we can get stuff back. So we can do all of that for lamps and stuff. And as for the table, you know, for Christmas, I mean, I think that everybody is trying to be more holistic in the
Yes,
way they do things, and
yes.
also classic, and more sustainable. So I would suggest that you go out into your garden and you cut some greenery. If you've got some holly and you've got some ivy, how lovely. Mix it up with little tea lights. And if
Yes,
you've got kids, you can buy so cheaply now on eBay or God knows where those little battery ones.
battery. Yes.
Exactly. And then, get bottles. We've all got lots of wine bottles after lockdown. And, different size bottles, and put them in, along the table with flowers. You can go to the supermarket, you can buy flowers and you can pick them out so they look a bit more sort of natural. You can do great things with really very little money and just a lot of imagination. You tie your napkins with ribbon and put a sprig of rosemary in them. The kids can do little name place cards.
Yes.
And if you're really creative, you can make your own crackers.
Yes.
Not
I think that may be going too far, but I think that's a lovely idea. And things like packaging and packing and presents can look so pretty with a touch of rosemary stuck in the ribbon or something, can't
or
they?
a bit of holly, but don't, you can get that holly which isn't so prickly if you're lucky in your garden. Just
Yes.
use what we have locally, and
Yes.
if you're lucky enough to have a garden, or without ripping down the whole place. Yeah,
I think that's all lovely. And then I think it could be a time where if you're worried about not having everything matching, don't worry. You actually do have time to clean the silver between now and December the 25th.
isn't that amazing? And you're only going to have to do 6 place settings. Just think about it.
That is so terrifying. That is terrifying. I'm going to squash all my family in underneath my jacket, I think. But anyway, we'll see.
No, but it's great because I think in some ways it's going to take the pressure off women.
Sure.
By denote, get to cook the Christmas lunch. I mean,
yes.
Some people might have lovely, helpful husbands, and they help. But on the whole, it's women who organise Christmas. So I think it's going to be rather more peaceful for women this year.
Well, I think you're right, actually. And also, we have decided that Christmas meal, which I have done, it seems, since 1932, is one of the most complicated, because you've got to get the bread sauce and the cranberry sauce and the turkey, and everything's got to be ready at the same time. So we've taken the decision we're going to make everybody's favorites and build big dishes of them. I mean, we're hoping to be with my daughter Claudia Winkleman of Strictly and my son and their families, because I'm hoping the government will say one day you're allowed, and just be very careful, no hugging, no kissing, but lots of elbows and elbows, hands, knees, and bumpsy daisy. Bumping, absolutely. But I love your idea of the sustainable thing. And also, do you think it's going to be a year that we're going to send out cards because we haven't seen one another?
I think that actually this year is going to be the biggest year for Christmas cards in the last 10. It's been a tradition that has actually steadily been going downhill. But frankly, I think people want to communicate this year.
I agree.
And they want to send photographs, and otherwise, I definitely think Christmas cards are going to be on the up. Lucky old Royal Mail are going to be a lot more busy.
But also lovely Christmas cards, the ones you like, or you can gather them, you get the children one on one table and the sort of more grown-up ones on the mantelpiece. You can share them out. But people love reading a long message. People who haven't seen people say for months.
Well, there's no excuse. We can't go out for dinner. We can't do any parties. So there's no excuse for not sitting down and writing your Christmas cards, is there?
Quite right. Absolutely. And we should buy them from charities for obvious reasons.
Definitely should buy them for charities for obvious reasons.
Yes. And then you've got lovely cushions, lovely throws are very important, because people are quite likely to have a little zizz in front of the television. And a little throw just makes all the difference, doesn't it?
It makes all the difference. Keeps you.
Shall I show you your throws? Because they're really
throws. Yeah. Or you can put them on your sofas. You can put them on your beds. You can use them for picnic blankets.
Yes, they're a multiple use thing, aren't they?
Yeah, multi-use. You can make them into a tent for the kids to play under. You can do anything.
If you do that at 9 o'clock, with a bit of luck, you won't see them till lunchtime.
Yeah.
And Emma, is there a feeling for a colour, a look this year, or is it just brighten your life up?
I think it's just brighten your life up. At Kelling, we have never been one for colours, trends, whatever. We try to say anything for everyone, okay?
Right.
We're not about seasons. And also with sustainability, I think it's really important actually that we get away from this business of colour trends and stuff, because it means that people feel that they have to change their colours every year. And that's not sustainable in the long term. And we've all got to look at that. And how we can improve on that. So no, we're not about colour. I mean, I love any colour.
Yes, well, that's rather nice, because you often find husbands and wives have different views. So if you can settle on one, that's what
Oh,
you
yeah.
go for. Absolutely. And then what about plates and glasses and things? I think, again, mismatch doesn't matter. Just make it look frolicsome.
Exactly. Frolicsome, it always works for me. I mean, all of our plates in our kitchen here, I've collected from car boot sales. They're all completely different. They're all blue and white, but we have total mismatch. My husband still doesn't understand why I do it, but I just love it. I don't want everything to be the same. I always tend to use the same glass size
Yes,
because I think
yes,
that makes it look much more harmonious on the table. But
I agree.
in our showroom in London, when we do lunches and dinners, we always do multicolored plates. They're all the same plate, but they're all a different color. So you can do anything. There's, there
Yeah.
should be no rules.
I agree with you. My husband doesn't understand that I like white plates, but I'll buy them anywhere I see them, just a pretty shape or a pretty design. And I say, if you want matching, go to a hotel.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
at home, you
Yeah.
want something rather more interesting, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. It's nice to mix. I think it's really good to mix it up.
Well, Emma, thank you for all your ideas. Any last minute suggestions? How about, as people come in, how about fragrance? Are you involved with any of that at all?
Yeah, I love, we sell fragrance in the in the shop, and I
Yeah,
love fragrance. There are some very talented people out there who make amazing candles. I would always suggest to people that they buy the most expensive they can afford, because they get a better sense of smell. It's more sustainable, it's been made in a better way, it will burn better down, you'll get an even smell throughout
yes,
the whole candle. But we're also using a lot of sticks in our jobs now, which are great. But remember to
yes,
turn your sticks over, because people
yes,
don't, and then they wonder
yes,
why they don't smell anymore. Um,
yes.
so yeah, use smells. It's lovely. It's great.
Well, smells at Christmas are somehow very important, aren't they?
They are
Because,
very important.
well, thank you for all of that. I think people will love looking at your stuff and buying virtually or at the show, which starts on Monday, the 9th of November. Means people have got plenty of time to buy. They can
Yeah,
do long lists,
they can do
candle
love
this
this.
person, and give presents and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for helping Wellbeing of Women, which of course looks after all our gynecological health. And stay well, and let's hope we can actually meet in 2021.
I know. God, it would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Let's
Would.
fingers crossed.
Thank
Take
you very much. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.